Last week when I was absent, I assigned only grammar, and you guys did page 121, but I want to go through that with you just to make sure you know that. So go to page 121, even though you probably already looked at it and did that. This was part of your assignment this last week, I mean. 121. So basically what you did for this was the page I normally do with you in class, but you did it by yourself. Anyway, coordinating conjunctions. So in order to figure out which one of these each sentence is, you have to start by finding the coordinating conjunction. So I'm just going to do a couple of them just to review with you, but let me know if you guys have any questions about it. The first one just says, Robin lost the fight, for he was thinking about a lovely maiden. So the first thing to do was to find that coordinating conjunction, which is for here for that. And then we have to decide, what is it connecting? Well, it's Robin lost the fight, and then he was thinking about a lovely maiden. Those are actually two complete thoughts. So they're going to be two main clauses. So it helped me to kind of just mark it like this. And then that helped me find this is the pattern here, MC, CC, MC, because we have a main clause and then the CC is for, and then another main clause. See how we have he here? That's the subject, and that's how you know it's another main clause. So you have to have a comma before that coordinating conjunction. So you should have put a comma in there right before for. So I guess show me in the camera or emoji, either way, a thumbs up if you did this page at home. Did you guys actually do this page? I see Ethier's got a thumbs up. Okay, I see thumbs up in there. Okay. So, and hopefully you looked at my answer key because I showed you what the answers were. Ethier, what's so funny? What are you doing? I see you. Anyway, so that's what this was. So if you haven't done this page, you can do it that way. Start with the CC and then look to see what it's connecting. All right, we're done with that. We're going to go, today's actual lesson page is on 127. So flip over to 127. This is our actual lesson for today.
So short.
It's weird, huh? So yeah, it's talking about pronouns, which duh, we know what a pronoun is, but there's actually different kinds of pronouns. You've learned some of them. There's one more kind you're going to learn about today. Basically, you know that a pronoun takes the place of a noun and it refers back to someone or thing recently mentioned, and it takes the place of that person or thing. We already know that. We know personal pronouns right here. That's he, she, it, they, them, you, I, me, those types of pronouns. We know those. Indefinite pronouns, those are the ones that do not refer to any particular person or thing. Those are indefinite. And then you also learn demonstrative pronouns, which point to a particular person or thing. Remember, we talked about like demonstrate, like this is this and that is that. So it's pointing to for a specific person or thing. And the new one today is called reflexive. And this is it's a pronoun that ends in self, singular, or selves, plural, and it refers to the object, or I'm sorry, the subject of the same sentence. So you're still going to just write PR above it, but look at this example. The men hid themselves in the forest. That's a reflexive pronoun, themselves, plural. And then Robin stood up for himself. That's also a reflexive pronoun because it has self on it. And it's just singular because we're talking about one person, himself. Still going to mark it with PR. But I want you to turn to the back of your book, actually, to page 198. Sorry, 197. To the very, very back, almost the last page, is like second to the last page. Go to page 197. If you have a post-it note near you, you can mark this page and call it pronouns because this is a good one to come back to now that the pronouns you know are more complex than just he, she, it. We've got a whole mess of them now. So this is a good page to look back on. If you get stuck on your homework and you can't figure out what the pronouns are, go to this page. It has a list of all of them. So it has the personal pronouns. And then it has, this is the new one that you learned today, the reflexive. Well, actually over here, this column. So you've got your reflexive ends in self or selves, just like we talked about. So look at this list way over here on the end. It's myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Those are all of the selves, the reflexive pronouns. And they are the subject of the sentence. That's what it says here, the subject of the same sentence. Notice over here, this is how you read this chart, okay? This first box is singular. That means just one person. And then plural is obviously more than one. So as you read this across, this is first person. And you guys know from playing games online, if you're first person view, it's just literally what you're looking at. Okay, that's first person. That's you. That's I, me, my, mine, myself. Okay, those are all first person. Different types of pronouns here. Subjective, which is the subject. Objective, which is like who it's happening to. It's the object. And then possessive, you guys know if you possess something, that means you have it. It's yours. It belongs to you. I know that John and Nora, you guys have talked about these a lot when you, because you guys used to do Shirley English, right? For your grammar. Yeah. Subjective, objective, and possessive. So this is how you read it across. So like second person, you, your, yours, yourself. Third person is like when you see, like if you're playing Minecraft and you see the guy in front of you, you're outside of the main character. You're watching him or he, she, it, him, her, it, his, her, its, his, her, its again, and himself, herself, itself. And then the plural is here. Okay, and then it talks a little bit about those other types of pronouns here. So just mark this page and then you can use it if you need to when you're doing your homework to find the pronouns in your pages that you're working on. Do you guys have any questions about this page at all? No, you're good? Okay. Go back to, this time go to 129, page 129. It's the actual page here. Rebecca, do you feel like reading that? No, she's like, no, thanks. Anybody feel like reading it? Yes. Oh, thank you, Miles. I see you. Go for it.
Robin was drenched. He heartily laughed at himself because he knew that he looked ridiculous.
Good. Okay. So the vocabulary is ridiculous. I think we all know what that is. It means like foolish or dumb, I guess would be another way to say it. That word drenched just means like soaking wet. You guys probably know that. So somehow you got soaking wet here. But the vocabulary is ridiculous. That's going to be an adjective. It's describing Robin. Okay, and there's one noun. So Nora, where's the one noun?
Robin.
Robin's the noun. Good. And we don't have any articles today, so that's good. Pronouns, Ethier, where are the pronouns at?
He, the
Yeah.
three he's,
There's three he's. Yes, there are three.
and himself.
And himself, which is that reflexive pronoun. We just learned that one. All right. Adjectives, Lexi, where are the adjectives at? There's only two.
Ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
and not sure what the other one is.
So it has to do with Robin at the beginning. What?
Drenched?
Yes, drenched. Even though that kind of sounds like a verb because it has ed on it, it's describing him. He's drenched. He's soaking wet. So yes, that's the adjective there. The adverb, Owen, where's the adverb? That's the ly.
Heartily.
Heartily, good. It's telling how he laughed. Heartily. And heartily just means like if something's hearty, like if you're eating a hearty breakfast, it's like a big breakfast with bacon, eggs, and pancakes, and it's like that's a hearty breakfast. But if you're laughing heartily, it's just a big laugh. That's what that means, just a big laugh. I'm going to skip prepositional phrases. Let's go to that clause. This is going to be for Rebecca. What's the that clause?
That he looked ridiculous.
Good. And then Nico, what about the adverb clause? That's going to be the Asia one.
Because,
Because, and then where does it end? Because what?
sorry, my audio thing's not working.
Oh,
Knew.
because he knew. That's the whole AC adverb clause. And then main clause, let's see, who has not had a turn yet? John, where's the main clause? There's two of them.
Okay, Robin was drenched.
Good,
He hardly laughed.
good. Keep going though.
Oh, at himself.
There you go. At himself. Okay, so remember those are complete thoughts. And by the way, because these two main clauses are back to back, remember how we talked about how that was like a comma splice? It really should have a period between the two main clauses because there's no coordinating conjunction there. So go ahead and take out that period and I mean take out the comma and put in a period there between the main clauses. All right, subject verb. So Miles, where are the verbs? We'll start with those.
Was,
Good,
laughed,
good.
knew,
Yep,
and looked.
good. Yep. And then subjects for those verbs. Miles, where are the subjects for those verbs?
Robin,
Good,
he,
good,
he,
good.
and he.
And he. A lot of pronouns he there. There's two different openers because now we have two sentences. Remember, we put the period in. So, Rebecca, what are the two openers here?
They're both subjects.
Actually, no.
No?
No. The first one is not. The second one is a subject opener. The first one is not.
Oh, VSS.
There you go. And what number is that? Do you remember?
6.
Good. Okay, so this is a VSS. It throws you off because it does have a subject first. So technically it's both, but we're going to label it VSS because it's only 3 words. Robin was drenched. Capitals, you got that. Go ahead and find those. Beginning of the sentences. Commas, we took care of one comma. Owen, did you have a question?
Are we going to do the prepositional phrases?
Oh, thank you. Yes, you can do it. Thank you for pointing that out. Where's the prepositional phrase? You see it there, Owen? He's like, oh man, why did I say something? Now I have to find it. I see you have it, Nora. Hold on a second. Let's see if Owen can find it. Here's your big clue since we waited till the end on it. Look for a word that doesn't have a label on top of it. That's your big clue.
At himself?
There you go. Yes. Is that what you were going to say too, Nora? And Ethier? Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Almost forgot that. There is a comma rule. So let's see. Ethier, what about the comma rule? There's one more.
Himself. After himself.
Yeah, so take this one out. You're right. Take that out. We don't need that. Because we've got a main clause and then you've got other clauses after that. You don't need any commas there. End mark, we already got the one and just add one at the end. Okay, did we miss anything else? Ethier, do you have a question or is that from earlier?
Earlier.
Okay. Okie doke. We did it. That was the end of that lesson for grammar. And don't forget to use that page in the back of your book for pronouns if you need it. Okay, let's get out your history books. But I have to ask because I know it felt like such a long time ago when I saw you guys last because I missed last week. But did you guys find articles about the Lusitania? If you did, give me a thumbs up either in the camera or emoji thumbs up. Or yeah, I see those articles. That's good.
Couldn't find one I
Lusitania.
could print.
You found one, but you couldn't print it. Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, I couldn't.
It didn't let you.
No.
There's a hack to that. I'll tell you in just a second. Rebecca, how about you?
I did have 2 of them, but then I lost one. So, but I have a really long one.
Rebecca.
I do have a really, really long one.
Oh,
That's
that
like
doesn't
13
count as
pages.
2 though. That only counts as 1.
I got mine.
Okay. Good. So if you can't print it, and that does happen, sometimes it's like they want you to subscribe in order to print. Ethier?
Don't you have to highlight it all and then click the right click and then click print?
That was the hack I was going to share. You can do it that way, just right click and print the highlight, or you can highlight it and paste it in a document like a Word or Google Docs or something like that. That'll work too. Does that make sense, Lexi? Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I kind of tried doing that, but I wasn't exactly sure how to do it, so it didn't really work.
Oh,
I
that's
tried like
something.
highlighting it, but I couldn't figure out what to do with it. So I tried clicking commands and print or P for print, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't let me.
Have you
I don't know.
are you on a laptop with a pad, like a finger pad?
Yeah.
So do you know how to right click on a laptop?
What?
That means no. So when you right click, it's like, okay, if you have a mouse, and Ethier, you're probably better at explaining this, but it's like a 2-finger click. That's how I do
Yeah.
it. So that's a regular mouse like Ethier has. Yeah. If you have a regular mouse, it's your middle finger that you click. When you right click, it'll give you options. It opens up a little window, and that's where you can print. But if you're on a pad like me, I don't have a mouse. I just have my pad on my laptop. I have to use 2 fingers and click at the same time. And then it opens up options for you, and then you can select print. So you would go to the article, highlight it, 2-finger click, and then select print with 1 click, and then it should work. I don't know if you want to try it, but seems like pretty much everybody else got articles. Is there anybody that didn't get a chance to do that yet? Is there anybody that doesn't have articles? Okay. Oh, did it work, Alexi? Oh, you're saying you didn't get both articles. How about you, Nico? Did you get both? No. Did you get 1? 0?
I forgot.
Oi, that's okay. There's grace. Nora?
So I got both articles except for I lost one of the pages to my second one.
You and Rebecca. What's up with that? Losing stuff. Put it in your front pocket next time. If you don't have both articles, and Nico, I'm pretty sure you know how to minimize the zoom and go to Google, try to find another article, try to find them now. Who wants to share what websites you guys used? Where did you find your articles? Anybody want to tell me which ones? Ethier, which ones did you find?
I used Lusitania for Kids, like the one that you did, and National Geographic.
Okay.
I looked at Britannica, but it looked different than the others.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
The Britannica one I noticed doesn't let you print. That's one that doesn't let you print either. So that's one you could highlight, like you were saying. But how about Ducksters? Did you happen to use Ducksters or anybody use? Okay, Miles is using that, Nora. So that could be your second one, Ether. If you don't have a second one yet, you can go to Ducksters. Owen, what about you?
I use social studies for kids and history for kids.
Perfect. Good. Okay. Those are both good. All right. So, like I said, you should have two printed in front of you. If you don't, try to do it
Which
now.
one should I use?
You're going to use both. Actually, you should have two.
No, like of the websites.
Oh, go to Lusitania for Kids, and there's one like Miles used the or I guess it was Ethier used National Geographic for Kids. Do you see that one on there on your Google list?
Looking.
Okay. If you look up Lusitania for Kids, it should be like the first one, I think, is National Geographic. That's a good one.
It shows Britannica for me.
Okay, what's under Britannica? What's the next one?
Social studies.
For kids?
Ducksters, Britannica again, Kids Encyclopedia.
Go to Ducksters.
Kids
That's a
Center.
good one. Click on Ducksters. And then do you know how to print a website or a page? Okay, go ahead and do that. Ethier?
I'm gonna print one really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This computer doesn't print one, but that one over there does.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so the rest of you, go ahead and turn to page 189 in your history book. But if you're still printing, it's okay. You can work on that while we talk about this. You can just listen while you're doing that. This is page 189. And basically, you guys are learning a new structure. If you've had a writing class with me before, you know how this works. So this will be like review. But if this is your first time with me, then this might be new to you. But what we're learning to do is put together keyword outlines into a fused outline. I know you guys already did that for past chapters in this book. But this is refining the topic. So basically, the topic sentence tells what the paragraph is about. And when you write your KWO, you begin by placing keywords in the topic line. Then, when writing multiple paragraph compositions, it helps to follow this pattern. So this is the pattern you need to use when you write next to a Roman numeral. The subject first, which is going to be Lusitania, and then a topic, and then what about the topic? Okay, Nico, did you have a question?
Yeah, I printed the Duckster one. What other one should I use?
Do you see one that says National Geographic yet? If you keep
Oh,
scrolling,
look.
that's a good one. So here's the difference between subject and topic. You guys know that already. I'm not going to read that, but basically your subject is Lusitania. And then your topics, we're going to figure that out in a minute here, what your possible topics are. And then as you write these keyword outlines, if you only need one topic, that just equals one paragraph. If then two topics, that equals two paragraphs. For this one, you guys are going to write, let me check before I tell you because I'm trying to remember. It's only two. You only have two paragraphs, so that's good. So you're going to need two different topics about Lusitania to write those paragraphs. It says the second word you place in the KWO will indicate your chosen topic. So the first word is your subject on the Roman numeral. That's what I'm talking about, the Roman numeral. So like Roman numeral 1 is going to be Lusitania, comma, and then whatever topic you pick. And then if you choose to describe the ship, that can be your topic. You would write ship. If you choose to write about the events prior to the sinking, then you might write, or you may write, events. If you choose to write about the warnings from Germany, you may write GER warnings. If you choose to describe the sinking, you may write sinking. So there's going to be some choices for you as far as topics on how you're going to write your paragraphs. If you choose to write about various nations' reactions, you might write reactions. There's many possibilities exist. And Nico, I saw your hand for a second. Do you still have a question for me? Okay, you got it. And then once you pick your topic, you're going to figure out what about that topic. Okay. So the next step is to actually read the article. So go back a page, actually go back 2 pages to 187. Go to 187. So one source is provided for you in your book. This is going to be source A. And then the 2 articles that you found are going to be source B and source C. Okay. So as we read, I'm going to have you mark in the margins what each paragraph is mostly about in this so we can make a list of possible topics here. So basically what I'm going to do is read each paragraph, and then we're going to decide what we think it's mostly about. So this is page 187. And it says the Lusitania was a British luxury liner completed in 1906. At that time, it was the largest passenger ship in the world. The British Admiralty had helped build it in order to compete with German passenger ships. It was, therefore, made part of the Royal Naval Fleet Reserve. This means it could be used by the military if necessary. The newest, fastest turbine engines powered the ship. It boasted 50% more passenger space than any other ship. It could carry 3,048 passengers, that's a lot, and crew. And it flaunted 7 first-class decks. This ship routinely traveled across the Atlantic Ocean between Liverpool, England, and New York. Kind of sounds like almost like a cross between like a cruise ship and a military ship to me. It kind of sounds like a little bit of both, but like because it had these luxury parts to it. Has anybody ever been on a cruise ship before? I have not. Nico, you've been on a cruise before? Miles has?
I need 2 things, right? One from
Oh, yeah.
the. All right, I got
2.
them.
That's all you need. Okay, good. You got it. Okay, cool. So it seems like Miles, oh, Rebecca, you guys have, huh? Been on a cruise?
I was just gonna say, does this source A count as one of our things or one of our?
Yes. Yes, it does. So that we're going to use this. So yes, we're going to need this. And then your other 2 that you printed from online are going to be source B and C. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, good. So this first paragraph really is talking about the ship itself. So when you turn your book to the side here, I want you to just write ship right here because it's describing the ship here. It's telling how many passengers it carries, it's telling how big it is, what kind of engines it has. It's basically talking about the ship. Okay, and the next paragraph here, I'm going to keep going. Go ahead, Rebecca.
What happens if you can't print it?
You can do what we were talking about earlier. Do you know how to highlight it?
I mean, like, can't print it like right now.
Oh, okay. Then you'll have to just wait till after class. It's okay. Keep it up on your online so you can look back on it, but you can print it later.
Okay.
Okay, the Lusitania became famous not for her luxurious journeys across the Atlantic Ocean, but for her tragic sinking. And we also know about the Titanic. Hold on, somebody's trying to come in the Zoom again with a weird name. So I am going to make sure.
I broke it.
I think it's John.
Do you think it's John?
Yeah, I think he
Did he
just
get kicked
he
out?
broke his computer. He did something. He broke it.
Can you
Yes,
go
ma'am.
ask him if he's trying to log in right now? He broke his computer. Nice, John.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Okay. I just want to make sure because we don't want some creepo coming in. That would be not good. Okay, I'm going to keep reading here. Sinking. During World War I, Britain and Germany were enemies. Obviously, that was World War I. America was neutral for a while, and Germany declared the waters around Britain a war zone. Hold on, I'm pausing for a second. There's somebody else coming in now. Oh,
Trying to join.
It's
it is
John.
you? Okay, I'll let you in.
Yeah, we're trying to get him in.
Okay, I'm letting him in now. I just want to make sure that was him. Okay, you're good? Change your name on your Zoom there. Do you know how to do that? We were worried you were a creepo or something, kind of trying to come in and crash our party here.
He is a creepo.
As soon as I said that, I was like, I wonder if Nora's going to say anything. All right, not that kind of creepo, though. Okay, anyways, that was funny. Where are we? So right here, Germany declared waters around Britain a war zone. They warned that they would not hesitate to fire at any ship in those waters. In fact, both the German embassy and the American government published warnings in many newspapers advising Americans not to travel in the waters around Britain. One of these warnings was placed directly across from an advertisement for the Lusitania, which would soon leave New York. So obviously they're trying to warn them, don't go over there. Don't go in those waters. It's not going to be safe. You're going to be blown up. Don't go. So I'm going to call this warnings, actually. Go ahead and write warnings here. That's what that paragraph is mostly about. Okay, they're basically telling the Americans, don't go. It's a war zone. Don't go there. We're warning you. Okay, last paragraph on this page. In May of 1915, the Lusitania made journey number 202 across the Atlantic. The British Admiralty had warned the captain to avoid the waters around Ireland, but the captain did not take heed. It's on him. The ship was just 11 miles from Ireland when it was hit by a German torpedo. The captain tried to take the crippled ship to shore. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. But it was no use. The ship was sinking quickly. He ordered all to abandon ship. The 787-foot-long ship sank in 20 minutes. The crew did not have enough time to put more than 6 of the 48 lifeboats in the water. As a result, more than 1,000 passengers perished. Totally sounds like the Titanic, except for it wasn't a torpedo for the Titanic. It was a glacier. Remember that? So this is telling about the sinking of the ship. So go ahead and call this sinking.
And Harper wasn't on it.
That's true. Different passengers altogether. That paragraph also is on the other page. So if you want to label both of those, you can. That paragraph is mostly about like what happened, why, how it was sinking. All right, last paragraph. The sinking of this passenger ship angered the world. I don't blame them. I mean, that could have been avoided. So, including America, which lost 128 people in the attack. Doesn't seem like a lot, but still, 128 people that didn't need to die, they died. Germany tried to justify the attack by claiming that the ship was carrying war supplies and ammunition. While it likely was carrying supplies, the ship was not armed. Even though it had been built with mounts for cannons, the weapons were never added. Many Americans believed America should enter the war. A flood of books and articles were written urging Americans to prepare for war. In response, Congress passed the President Woodrow Wilson signed the Army Reorganization Bill that increased troops to 200,000. However, President Wilson still wanted to stay out of the war. It was not until 1917, after Germany had sunk several American merchant ships, that America declared war. The phrase, remember the Lusitania, helped recruit and embolden soldiers. So it probably was really frustrating during that time because it sounds like it wasn't just that ship that sank. I mean, several ships. I mean, come on. So they finally entered war in 1917, though. So this was mostly about like the reactions. I'm going to call this the reactions of the people in America, especially their reactions to the sinking. Books were written, articles were written, and then the president at the time finally declared war. All right. So those are the topics we found in the article in this book. So turn to page, let me see. Hold on, I got so many things right here. Turn to page 193 for a second. We're going to skip something real quick. Go to 193 because there's a nice blank spot here. And what I'm going to have you do under this is write our possible topics because we need to know what they are in order to choose them. So on this page right here, this is 193. Go ahead and put possible topics. And then under that, let's write down the things that we wrote next to the paragraph. So the first one was about the ship. The next one was about warnings. I'm copying from what we put in our notes in the article that we just read. Sinking and reactions. And then next to each one of those, I want you to put A because these are all found in Article A, and that's the one that's in the book. So ship A, warnings A, sinking A, reactions A. Okay. Okay, A. Anyways, now I want you to look at the articles that you got to print. If you didn't get a chance to print them, go ahead and pull them up online so you can look at them, at least look at them. In those articles that you guys printed or are looking at, do you see any of these possible topics that are in those articles as well? Look at them for a second. You can raise your hand if you see any part of it that talks about either the ship itself, the warnings, the sinking, or the reactions. Nora, did you find something in yours?
Yeah, mine has a topic that's called What is the Lusitania?
Perfect. So that would be ship, right?
Yeah.
So on that article, I want you to write a big B on top of it, okay? Because that'll be Article B, and then you can put comma B here because it's going to, about the ship is in this article in the book, but it's also in the one that you printed. And then Rebecca, how about you? Did you
Warnings
find,
in New York.
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Warnings in New York.
Warnings in New York. Perfect. So for you,
Reaction.
I know you didn't get a chance to print it, but that'll be Article B for you, okay? And then put next to warnings, comma B. How about Ethier? Did you find one?
In this one, it talks about sinking.
Perfect. Call that B and put B here. And by the way, you guys that already know, you already see common topics, go ahead and write that next to that or circle it or somehow identify it so you know where that's at. And then Lexi, I see you have your hand up too. And then I'll come to you. Go ahead.
Are we writing one paragraph this week or two?
2 paragraphs.
Okay.
Rebecca?
Why was the sinking of the Lusitania important?
Good, yes. That would be, that might be reactions actually.
I have one called results, which could be the reactions.
I agree. Reactions, I would call it reactions, yeah. Owen?
Mine is the sinking of the Lusitania.
Okay, good. So what I need you guys to do is look for you might have more than one common topic. You might have more than just one of these that you see in your articles too. So check your other article and see if you see any of these topics in there also. Nico?
Mine has both. Mine has my Duckster one has every single one that we wrote down.
Good. Okay. So you can call that one C if you want, and then just put C next to everything. Okay. You guys see what I'm trying to do here? I want you to see the common topics across the articles and the one in the book. Rebecca?
Could the one topic that I said that you said would be good for reactions, could that be good for sinking too?
Maybe you might have to read a little bit of it to see if it's talking more about how it sank or if it's talking about what happened after it sank.
Okay.
You might have to read a little bit of it. I see Ether and then Nico.
On mine, I see results, which Nico said could be like reactions.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So do I put a C?
Yes. Put a C next to that. Yep. Nico,
What
did
would
you still have a question?
this one says? Was there a cover up of the after the sinking of the Lusitania? What would that be marked as?
I would say that's reactions. Maybe like what happened after. It's almost like a conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know. You might have an extra topic there. How about Miles? Are you finding some of these topics in what you printed too? Yeah, okay. Did you get to label them B and C and then figure out, okay, perfect, good. And how about you, John? You got it on yours? Okay, good, good, you guys. Okay, once you figure out what topics you have to choose from, we're only writing 2 paragraphs, so you're gonna pick 2 of the possible topics. You got to make sure that you have information at least in more than one of the articles. So obviously we have A, all of these are in A. So don't pick any that just has one article for it. But if it's in all 3, that's great. If it's only in 2, that's okay too. So pick a topic that has at least 2 sources with it. And then I want you to turn back to page 190. This is where, like we talked about earlier, how you set up your first topic, by the way, right here, we're going to just jump down here to source A. And source A is your textbook. So just put textbook here so you know it's from this book, source A. Sorry, let me straighten that out there for you. Get rid of that glare. I can do this. Let's see. There we go. So this is page 190. So your first source is your textbook. And then to list the topic, you're going to put first the subject, which is Lusitania, comma, and then whatever topic you choose, whether it's sinking, reactions, or the ship itself. I mean, it makes sense to start with either the ship itself or the sinking before you talk about the reactions. Nico, did you have something to say, or are you good?
I think one of the entire paragraphs that I printed was all conspiracy theories.
Wow. All right. And is it talking about like after it sank, like what they think it was?
I think so. Let me check.
Okay. Well, that might actually be a good topic for you. What about, do you see it in both of the articles that you printed or only the one?
That might be like a reactions.
Yeah, like a reactions. I'm thinking the same thing. I see your hand, Owen. Did you have something to say?
Can I abbreviate Lusitania?
You can for your outline, but when you go to write it out for your paragraph, you have to spell it out. But yes, I'm okay with that. Yep. So let's say you pick ship for the first one. you're going to pick the same topic here for Roman numeral 1 under source B, same topic, Lusitania, or you can abbreviate it if you want, and ship, and source C, that topic is also Lusitania, ship. So you're using each source. Oops, sorry, I wrote this on the wrong line. It should be right here. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you didn't write that in pen. So Lusitania and ship, or whatever your first topic is, needs to go by the topic. See how these each have one topic, one topic, one topic. Okay, that's where that goes. Your sources are textbook for A, and then maybe you have Ducksters. I know some of you use Ducksters, and maybe some of you used, what's another source you guys have that you printed?
National Geographic.
Okay. You could just put Nat Geo. If you have that one. What is yours, Rebecca?
Wait, I'm confused. Hang on. So, can I print the thing later, but like go back to this and just like write it all out?
You can. That way you can get started on it. I'm okay with that. If you minimize the Zoom, you can get on the actual article and start looking at it. I'm okay with that. Just make sure you keep track
Okay.
of which one you're labeling source B and which one you're labeling source C. So these are two different sources, two different articles. Any other questions about what we're doing right now? You guys are good. Okay. So now I'm just going to give you time in class to start filling in your keyword outline here. So obviously for the textbook, you're going to flip back to that article here on page 187 that we just read. You're going to flip back to that and go to the one, if your topic is about the ship, go to the ship paragraph and read that and find your keywords for your details. Okay, Nico?
On my ship, for the one for my ship, National Geographic doesn't give much for the ship.
Okay.
So would I only do 2 sources, or do I have to find
You would
another
do
one
2.
for
Yeah, if you guys don't have enough information on one of them, you can use 2. Just make sure you at least use that National Geographic when you pick your third topic so that you're using it somewhere in your paper. Okay.
I have it for the reaction.
Okay, perfect. That'll work. So he's just saying if you have National Geographic, but there's nothing really about the ship on that, you can just do source A and source B for this part. And look for interesting facts. Remember, you guys are also looking for interesting or important facts to list here, and you're going to use keywords. And the rule is still the same. You can only use 3 words, but you can use numbers, abbreviations, symbols, things like that for free. So go ahead and start working on this right now in class. I'm going to give you some time right now to work on it. Okay. Do you know what to do, Lexi? Are you good? You're muted, so you're good. Okay, thumbs up. Got that. I know what that means. You're good. So I should see everybody starting to write in your books. You're going to look for this source A. You're going to look back on the article that we just read in the book under the paragraph about the ship itself and start writing down some key words about facts that you know about the ship. Okay. And then after you're done with that one, go on to one of your articles and keep finding those keywords with facts about interesting facts. Let me know if you guys have any questions, okay? I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. You guys keep working. I'm going to ask some of you what you have so far as some keywords that you put down under Roman numeral 1 for the textbook. So I'll start with Ethier. What is a couple, tell me 2 of the different facts you have down.
I started on a different one instead of the textbook on accident.
Oh, that's okay. Tell me what you got then for whatever other source you have.
Results killing innocent. And
Oh, what's your topic, by the way?
topic? Just, I mean, the source or?
Like, are you talking about the sinking of the ship? Is that your topic? Like,
No, it's the reactions.
oh, reactions. Okay. Okay.
So it ended up killing innocents.
Okay.
And the captain of the Lusitania shut down one of the ships to save costs.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. And you
I had
found
to
that
write
from
that
an
down,
article.
but I did cap O-L shut and then an arrow down.
Okay.
Number 1 ships save and the dollar sign.
Okay. I like what you have going, and I think you should keep going with that. But I almost feel like this should be your second paragraph then, because it'd be strange to start with the reactions to it.
Yeah, it is my second one.
Oh,
I
okay.
just accidentally started right there.
No problem. Okay, that's good. As long as you know when you go to write it, that'll be your second paragraph. That sounds good. You're doing good. How about Nico? What do you have so far?
What do you want to hear? The textbook one?
Did you do that one already?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
finished it.
Give me, well, did you do one also from one of your articles too?
Not yet. I just finished the
Okay.
textbook one.
Okay, tell me 2 of your textbook ones, and then I'll go to you, Rebecca. I see your hand.
Largest passenger, and then I drew a little ship, and then world,
Okay.
and boasted 50% space, other, and then another ship.
Okay, good. I like it. Good job. You can keep going. You can work on your next one from your article. And then Rebecca? Jeremiah. She's in class. You gotta leave her alone.
Brother Treble.
I see that.
So I was wondering, one question. So you know how you said Lusitania and then after that ship and then just the same thing, just different like websites and stuff?
Yeah.
Could I do something different other than all of them like ship? Like could I do ship and then like sinking of the ship and then like the reactions or something like that?
You got to keep to one topic, actually. So it does need to be all the same here, but that's what's good about having 2 paragraphs, because then like when you go to page 192, you get to pick a different topic there. Because that's going to be paragraph 2.
Okay.
So this one can be about the sinking. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That is a good question, though, because let's think about this for a minute. If you start with the ship and you want to write about the reactions, but you're only doing 2 paragraphs, you could combine some information about the sinking and the reactions. Does that make sense? Because you're going to need to kind of tell about the sinking before you can tell about the reactions. Does that make sense, Rebecca?
Mm.
A little bit?
Yeah.
I think try to stick to one topic, but if you have to mention a couple times like what happened to the ship and then the reactions, that's okay too. So,
Okay.
okay. What about you, Nora? How's yours coming along?
Good.
Can you tell me one of your details that you put with your keywords?
Let's see. Largest passenger ship world.
Good.
I drew a
Okay.
picture.
It's a good one. How about you, Lexi? What's one of your topics that, or not topics, but your keywords that you have?
I put that, let me make sure I read it right. Said that the British helped build it to compete with the German ships, the German passenger ships.
Okay. That's good. That's a good one. I like that. John, are you still there, John? Is John still there?
Yes.
Okay. Is your camera working? There it is. Okay, keep your camera on for me so I can see you. What's one of the details you wrote down?
I did for the first paragraph or the second paragraph. It's sinking, reaction, and then reaction for the.
Oh, okay. And then did you find some details yet on those?
Yeah, I got the first topic done.
Okay, good. What's one of the details you have?
May 1915 cross the Atlantic Ocean, like goes across.
Okay.
Arrow to Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, that's good. And that you kind of have to explain that before you tell how it sank, right? So that's good. Okay. Let me check something right here real quick. Okay. I want you guys to just finish working on the word that you're on. And then I want you to skip over here to the page that has the fused outline. This is page 191. And so they showed you a little model up here. So you're just going to pretend like, you've got your source A, which was the textbook, and then you've got your 2 articles that you found online, and you've got your individual keyword outlines for each. And then it's showing you how you combine it together for your fused. So basically, you're meshing together all of your facts or some of your facts onto the fused. But as you guys do this, it's really super important that you think about grouping together facts that go together. Like if you're going to talk about the amount of passengers and you have a couple of facts that you want to put down about the amount of passengers, put those in 1 and 2. And if you're going to talk about like the style of the ship or how it was built for weapons, but it didn't carry weapons, oh, that's later. Or how it's something from that first paragraph. If you're writing about the ship, maybe about the decks that it has on the ship, keep those facts together. So group together like facts. Okay. Nico, did you have something to say?
I accidentally put my first paragraph, like the source A, B, and the source A and B, and the second where the second one's supposed to be. Do I move it or can I just write it down and know that that was the first one, the other one's the second one?
You can just write it down and know that it's
All
backwards.
right.
Yeah, as
Okay.
long as you
I
can.
said I'm on like page 91. Oh, so I did.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as so you don't have to rewrite the whole thing, just make a note or draw an arrow or whatever you need to do to remind yourself. But one of them, this one should be, you're fused, but you can use one of the other ones if you have to, if that makes sense. But the goal is to take your A, B, and C, or your A and B, or your A and C, whatever you have for your sources, and then combine those into the fused outline. And then turn to page 192. On page 192, you're going to see Roman numeral 2. This is for your second paragraph. So looking back on your possible topics, I think somebody like John, I think it was, said you did for the first topic, you talked about the sinking, and then you did reactions. That's okay if you want to combine sinking and reactions. It's okay if you want to combine those two together. Just make sure that when you do your fused outline, it flows, it makes sense. So you're not jumping around topics, okay? It's gotta flow. If you're going to talk about the sinking first, group all the ones about sinking first, and then group all the ones about the reactions after that. All right. Does anybody have any questions about what I'm talking about? It's kind of hard to show you over Zoom, but are you guys okay? I see you saying no. That's good. Means you don't have any questions. So pick a topic for this. I know you don't have time to finish this. I see that, Rebecca. But I do want you to at least pick your topics for Roman numeral 2 so that you know what you're going to work on for homework here. So again, source A is going to be your textbook. This is on page 192. And maybe your topic is Lusitania. I'm going to abbreviate it this time, LUS, comma. Maybe it's about the sinking this time. And maybe it's the sinking and the reactions. Then you would put for topic 2 right here, Lusitania, sinking, reactions. And then again down here. Yes?
Is this class going to 3?
Is it late? No, it's not late. We're fine. No, it's not going to 3. Smarty pants. Ethier, hopefully your question is better than that one.
So I did a lot of bad messing up. I put what was supposed to be, what's it called? Ducksters. And source B, which was supposed to be source C. So I was like, I should move that. And I was like, no. So I'm just going to erase all of it. So I'm doing, for the textbook, I'm going to do warnings, like they're warning.
Okay.
And then I'm doing sinking for the second one.
Okay, perfect. And
Then
oh, go ahead.
And I'll probably keep on doing sinking. So for the third.
Okay, and what you could do if you messed up on your source, just cross it out and put C. Like if you accidentally put C here, you can do it that way rather than erasing everything unless you already erased it, but it's up to you. Okay. It goes for anybody that messes up on that. It's so hard to show you over Zoom because I know when we're in class, it's easier for me to see what you guys are doing. So, all right. Thumbs up if you wrote down your second topic for Roman numeral 2, if you have these filled in. Okay, good. I see that thumbs up. Good, good, good. You probably don't have all your facts in yet. That's okay, Lexi, if you don't have all the facts. Just at least get your topics in here. Anybody have any questions right now for me? Okay, no. Okay. I was giving you a hard time there, John. And you know what? You're right.
Don't we
It's supposed to end at 2:30.
2:30?
I'm just going to keep on going. It's going to be the longest class in history.
Yeah, I need to go in.
John, I apologize. Would you please forgive me? I was thinking it was going to end at 2:45. I'm all out of whack today. I'm sorry. All right, you guys, your job, and we didn't get to the vocabulary words, but you're only going to need to use 2 vocabulary words this time, okay? Not all 4. But your checklist is here. Make sure you use your checklist, and you're going to write 2 paragraphs using all your sources. Sorry, guys. My bad. I see Oliver in the waiting room, and I was like, wait, Oliver's here already? He's not supposed to be here. But anyway, okay. Bye, you guys. I'll see you next week. Hopefully. Bye.